I recently left Catholicism for the sake of Protestantism. I converted to real Christianity. And I started sharing the gospel with my mom. I didn't tell her that I'm not a Catholic. She still doesn't know that. But I started teaching her some things from the Bible. I started showing her things and juxtaposing them with the Catholic teachings. And my mom is like, she wants me with her to go to a Catholic priest to talk about it. But the thing is that I have already talked to 2 priests. And I also talked to some Catholic women who has been teaching Catholic things for her entire life. I talked to 3 Catholic people on this topic, and none of them could debunk or just convince me otherwise. And she knows it, but she's like, oh, let's meet again. I realized that people are just so stubborn. I realized that the outliers are just not gonna be understood. That people are gonna be stubborn in their ways and are not gonna change their minds immediately because of them. They are not. And me as an outlier, when it comes to Protestantism, or even when it comes to business, I want to make a lot more money than anybody else. People just won't understand me. The same way my mom doesn't understand me and wants to go to this priest like endlessly. But at some point I'm just gonna have to call it quit. Of course, I'm gonna meet with that priest. I am. And by my actions and by the way that I speak to that priest, I'm gonna prove to her that I am right and he's wrong. Even though there is authority fallacy in her mind. She's fallacious when it comes to thinking that he is the priest and I am just a mere boy. But I am gonna prove with my words, with my actions, with the way that I articulate myself, that I am right and he's wrong. But I'm not gonna go to another priest and another priest and another priest. I've already talked to 2 priests and this is gonna be the 3rd one. I don't need that. She doesn't need that. She's just so stubborn. I asked her, like, to how many priests am I gonna have to go for you to believe? And she was just quiet. Because she knows that it's just ridiculous to go to so many priests to try to convince me or her. There's no point in endless convincing somebody into your ways. Like, I want you to remember that. Because I know that you watching this, you're an outlier. You're not the same as them. You have different ambitions than them, higher ambitions than them. You have a plan for your life. And a very ambitious plan. Don't try to make them understand like endlessly. Don't try to convince them that what you're saying, what you're doing, that your plan is just gonna work out. Don't try to convince them endlessly. Because they are stubborn in their ways. Because they don't understand you. They are in their little bubble. And it's very hard for them to get out. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not. Like, I don't want you to think that I'm hostile towards these people. But they just don't know our ways. They just don't know the things that we do. They are on different levels than we are. So, I want you to just realize that, and I want to myself, stop trying to make them understand endlessly, like trying to pursue them or approach them in a weird way to make them understand, to convince them into my way of thinking. At some point, it's just pointless. I'm gonna go to a priest, he's gonna be like, no, let's go and talk to a bishop. Then after I debunk the bishop, he's gonna be like, okay, let's go to the Pope. Like, see how ridiculous it is. Trying to endlessly make somebody think what you want to make them, what you want them to think. Trying to endlessly convince them that you're right and they are wrong is just pointless. At some point, you just have to give up and believe that by your actions, they are gonna come to believing. Staying with this religion example. if I have total certainty that I'm going to heaven, if I have this, like, I'm not afraid, like, I'm just living and I'm happy, I have this happiness, I have this peace with the world, which she doesn't have. If she sees that in me, she's gonna be like more prone with time to believe in my ways, to change her mind. But just endlessly trying to convince her doesn't do shit. By my actions and by my confidence, I'm gonna show her that, yo, I am right, and the priest and the whole Catholicism is wrong. But trying to convince her endlessly is just pointless. I remember a few weeks ago, I was talking to my girlfriend's friend, and she told me that her boyfriend's parents make so much money. They make so freaking much. And we are on this group call, right? And I'm like, yo, how much money do they make? I was like very curious. She's like, they make so much money, they are so rich. And I started thinking to myself, what are they making? $50,000? $100,000? She told me that, oh, they make so much money. They make $7,000 combined. I'm like, God damn it. Like, these people are truly on the other side of the dam. These people are truly, like, not on the level that I am and that I believe you are as well. $7,000 combined. And they say that this is, and she said that this is so much money and unachievable. It is much money. It is very much money. And if I made $7,000 a month, I would be absolutely, like, it would be amazing. And I would view myself as the richest man in the world, right? But viewing this as something unachievable and so freaking much, and especially combined, like for two people. So this is $3,500 a person. This is totally achievable. This is not that much. I mean, it is plenty of money, but it is not something that is so out of reach. It's not. In that moment, I realized that we are not the same, that we are on two different paths and on two different ways of thinking. I prepared myself to hear $50,000, $100,000, and I heard mere 7. But I didn't try to convince anybody that $7,000 combined for two people is not much. Like, what the fuck? I knew that this is just pointless, that my mindset is different, and endlessly trying to convince somebody into my way of thinking is just pointless. At some point, I just have to put my head down, lock in, and by my actions and by my own achievements, show these people that I have been right all this time. And this might sound boastful, and it may be, but it's just confidence in my abilities to succeed. I don't want to make it sound like I'm boasting, because I'm not trying to. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you understand that trying to convince somebody so freaking much and without them changing their mind, this is just pointless. At some point you just put your head down and show by your actions and by your success that you have been right all this time. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you found it helpful, and have a good day, dude.